It's sure been a long... Wait, how long has it been?
It's been, 6 weeks? No, months. I'm not sure. I think I got a concussion last year, so it's my memory a little fuzzy.
Oh, me too! You and Steven were really nice and brought me pizza, but really, how many years?
For most of us, kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, that makes 13 years.
We've had lots of great teachers and friends come and go.
Miss Carlson introduced us to school with macaroni, apples, stars, and our class pet, Henrietta the Hedgehog.
Mrs. Getz and Abby Antelope helped us learn the ABCs. Miss Sampson taught us through great field trips about pioneers and history and all sorts of things.
Spending the night at teepees.
Yep. Spanish class with Miss Carlson, then with Miss Alvarez, band with Mr. Troll. Oh yes, and our saga with Mr. Bro. The unforgettable saga from 4th grade to freshman year.
Oh boy. Yeah, unforgettable is the only way to put it. All that awesome junior high drama. Ooh. Plenty of candy and cake though, from a cell cake and life science all the way to Mountain Dew cake. Right? Sounds gross, but it's actually delicious.
For sure! And don't forget our class pets, Wilbur and Wilburetta the squirrels. Then there was high school. We read A Hole in Our Gospel and did a 30-hour famine fast.
With Mrs. Schaefer in Bible class. She had us for English all 4 years, too.
We've got some great Mrs. Schaefer quotes.
Hey. What happens in English stays in English.
Yeah, but what about the time Stephen, Mrs. Schaefer, and I were editing Reader's Theater script, and Stephen got, or had to, watch us act out the Final Thoughts monologue with a Mark Twain bobblehead.
Hey, but I wasn't there. How about the time Simon and I drank chocolate milk out of a huge chalice with a funnel? Obviously, we all did make the actual Reader's Theater turn out too.
Okay. What about biology with Mr. Ascendez and physical science with Mrs. Burnett?
And of course, math. Pre-cal with Mr. Dorgan was pretty great. I mean, what other teacher will play Family Business, the card game, with you when you're done with your homework?
Spanish 1 and 2 with Mrs. Burnett.
Yes, Whack Attack, the vocab review game with 2 teams, 2 fly swatters, and 1 whiteboard.
Dun dun dun!
Enough said.
We did learn them! Geometry, Algebra 1 and 2, Apologetics, chapter reviews by Jeopardy, anyone? And bridges, eggs, and trebuchets in physics. Destruction is always the best.
Occupational ed, choir, PE, yeah, Danish rounders, wildfire, Tinker Toys and Imagine Tomorrow in chemistry, health class, the anatomy lab was awesome. All right, enough about school, let's talk sports.
Yeah, starting all the way back in 7th grade for most of us. You guys with soccer and us girls with volleyball in the fall.
And basketball in the winter for everyone? Should have played.
Yeah. And then spring sports for a bunch of peeps at Pullman High, like softball and track.
Tennis. Man, there are a lot of sports memories. Gold ball and soccer 3 years running. Sheridan scoring 7 goals in 1 half for the first ever win versus Oaks on their home turf.
Yes!
Do you know why?
Because he's Batman.
Swimming in Coquelin Lake at tourneys and taking trips to Montana and Boise in volleyball. Go team! But hey, how about those Pacific Northwest history and national parks trips?
Getting borderline hypothermic in the freakish rainstorm on Mount St. Helens? Right, Annette?
All you guys were really nice when that happened. Stephen was definitely a gentleman. He has been for 4 years now, and blocked the wind and held on to Jane and I all the way back up the trail.
Oh.
Fort Vancouver and Oneonta Gorge were neat. Oh, and the diving board hike at Yosemite, that was epic.
Half Dome was closed, so 15 of us just made our own trail to the ledge beside it. Ranger approved, of course.
And we found this awesome lake that was all boggy, so you could jump on it.
Christy was a real trooper that hike. Made it all the way, even after she had rocks fall down on her. Kept going, smashed fingers and all. Yeah, Christy!
Annette's favorite part of that trip was the tunnel tree at the giant sequoias.
Yeah, the beach was fun lava tubes.
Our Capitol building tour on the Olympia trip, and getting to climb some Mount Rainier.
And then this last year, Canyonlands. Goblin Valley was amazing, scrambling up the cliff, and especially the crack in Little Wild Horse Canyon, where all the seniors, plus Gleasons and Mrs. Schaefer, wedged ourselves in and inched along. And then, when Christy, Sheridan, Stephen, Mr. Gleason, and I hiked all the way to Druid Arch. Oh, and we could never forget Angel's Landing. We seniors were the first of our PCS group up it. A great view of Zion National Park, by the way. This brings us to Sheridan's great contribution to the world.
Yeah, okay. He and Justin at Pullman High invented this game called Wormy.
Where someone sticks a gummy worm on a person's shoulder and someone else comes up and eats it, while the victim remains absolutely oblivious. We seniors did it all the way down Angel's Landing. Really, the best place to start a trend is in a national park. Jamie wasn't there though, we missed him.
Anyway, where were we?
I love it.
Annette represented as Distinguished Young Women 2012 and as the only senior in musical theater class, singing a great solo. The rest of us were in health class.
Yes, but you forgot Junior Convention, Silverwood, formal, and...
They can just ask us, really, and we can blame it on our concussions, right?
True. Despite all the precautions, none of us made it through high school without a few battle scars.
But our coaches, teachers, volunteers, healthcare providers, and most of all our parents got us through. Speaking of thank yous, this may take a while, so don't say we didn't warn you.
Miss Sampson and Miss Carlson, thanks for giving us a great foundation. We will never forget you.
Both Mr. and Mrs. Bro, thanks for enduring with us throughout the roller coasters of middle school life, emotionally, scholastically, and at theme parks too. And for taking us on an awesome senior trip.
Mr. Troll, Mr. Dorgan, Mr. Gravel, Mrs. Tawny Sapp, and all the other teachers we had for only a year or so. Thank you for the time you invested in us. However long or short, know that it was memorable and worth it.
Coaches, thank you for all of the wisdom and knowledge you imparted to us, not only on the court or field, but in life too.
Youth leaders, you helped coax our Christianity from an ember to a flame through trips, random activities, and Bible study. Thanks for giving us purpose and direction, and some great memories.
To all of our substitute teachers, chaperones, and volunteers in sports, fundraising, and other school events, we never could have done it without your selfless service. Thank you.
Mrs. Burnett, you taught us everything from hablamos to not sticking anything smaller than our elbows into our ears. From Nuevo Vallarta to the slopes of Mount Rainier, it's been work, but it's been fun. Thanks.
Mrs. Getz, thanks for teaching us how to read and write and for being our school principal since 5th grade. There are a lot of things we couldn't have done without your help, and we're super grateful.
Pastors Phil and Carrie, thanks for being our school pastors and always being available to listen and give counsel. We love you even more than all the candy and ice cream you have given us.
Mrs. Schaefer, thanks for putting a creative tilt into every activity. Your effervescent personality permeated every English assignment, reader, skater, and random adventure you let us in. You taught us that the journey is way more important and fun than the destination. We really will miss you. Thanks for it all.
Mr. Gleason, thanks for sticking with us from life skills and speech class all the way to CWP. Thanks so much for all the adventures you've taken us on, best of all, the national park trips, and all the volleyball and even basketball seasons you've coached. But most important of all, thank you for setting us up with a solid foundation of worldview to take with us to the next stage in life. You could not have given us anything better.
To our dads, thanks for everything you've done to get us this far. Yes, even your adjustments to our seats of learning and making us do our chores and limiting our freedom in our neighborhoods with boundaries and forcing us to eat all of our nasty vegetables and limiting our TV time.
Dude!
Thank you for all that you do for us behind the scenes that we'll never really know about. We understand now that everything you've done has been to help us thrive, and we can never thank you enough. Thank you.
To our moms, thanks for giving up 9 months of your life and then another 18 years or so. We will never forget the time you spent with us, whether it was enforcing the family rules or being a listening ear when we needed one most. You brought us out of meltdowns at every age, taught us love and respect, babied us throughout sickness, and always remembered to bring that pair of socks we forgot to pack for the game. You wouldn't let us talk bad about ourselves and supported us in almost everything we tried. You believed the best of us when we acted the worst. Thank you.
We can never thank either of you enough. You laid the initial foundation for our relationships with God. You rejoiced with us when we prayed that first prayer and at every step after. Without you, we would have been lost physically and spiritually. We can never repay all the sacrifices you have made for us. We can only say thank you.
To everyone we haven't mentioned who has had impact on our lives, we wouldn't be here tonight without you. Your influence, wherever, whenever, however, whatever, made us what and who we are, and we only hope that we can make you proud.
But wait, there's more.
I kept a quote book to commemorate our last year together.
So when you all ask about my possibly classified career at the class reunion, I'm awesome. Just trust me.
Conchetta, class of 2014. When in doubt, sing a Korean song or kick a sandwich.
This is 27. Just so you know, gravity wins every single time.
Alec, class of 2014. But you're smart. 2 smarts equal 1 smart. 2 dumbs equals 2 dumbs.
This was me again. If you look at what I did and think I thought about it, it would seem like I thought it logically. But I really just didn't think, because I always think logically.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Annette, tattoos are like killing. The first one is always the hardest.
Oh my gosh.
So is Annette again about the 3 senior boys? Dude, the 3 of them are the senior dumpster.
Another of Annette's. It's because I sat by her a lot, okay? I'd cry too if I was forced to be a physics book.
We saved Annette's best for last. Can you get high on oxygen?
If someone did, they'd be an oxymoron.
Class of 2014, it's been long, very long, but also fun. If nothing else, remember this. Life, specifically school, is what you make it. Don't be afraid of what other people think of you. It's eternity that matters. Find at least one thing that you love and do it for God's glory. Actually, do everything for His glory. Whether it's dragging your brain through a chemistry chapter review or making that game-winning shot in basketball. Next year goes by quick. Love God and love each other, but leave room for Jesus. Godspeed.
Graduates, we haven't all been together for the last 13 years, but it doesn't matter. We might as well have. Stephen likes hunting birds, Christy loves her horses, but we all share, including each other's food, like one big family. God brought us together for a reason, so last but not least, we should thank Him for the good times and the not so good times, for the friends we've made and missed, and that we're here tonight. It's been like a choose-your-own-adventure book. We just all ended up on the same page. From here on out, who knows? But we challenge you and each other to be transformed, not conformed. To live Romans 12:2 as our life scene changes over and over. Let's run the race that's set before us. Let's live to make the big guy in the sky proud of us. Now, God bless. Let's graduate.
Yay!